The U.S. Supreme Court says Texas can enforce its border law, allowing local and state police to arrest people on suspicion they crossed the border illegally. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
And I'm Steve Eager. It's 9 o'clock. The Biden administration and human rights groups had hoped to keep enforcement of the law from happening while they argue the case in an appeals court. They want a court to rule the law unconstitutional. Lawmakers in Texas who passed the law say the legislation is necessary to stop illegal border crossings. Fox 4's Stephen Dow takes a look at how this law will likely be enforced across the state. Stephen.
The Supreme Court gave the green light for Texas law enforcement to enforce the new law, but the merits of the case will soon be debated in court. Tuesday, in a 6-3 decision, the U.S. Supreme Court said Texas can enforce its controversial new immigration law, allowing any local or state officer to arrest someone suspected of entering the country illegally. The suspect would go before a judge who would allow them to go back to a port of entry or be jailed on a misdemeanor crime. Critics and human rights groups call the law racist and unconstitutional. They say it opens the door to racial profiling. But the state Republicans who passed the law say it's necessary.
I think that what we're going to see is we're going to see a shift to New Mexico, Arizona, and California. I think that the numbers in Texas are going to plummet because of an enforcement of a law.
Brandon Judd is the president of the National Border Patrol Council. Judd thinks enforcement of the law will start with an influx of arrests, but then ultimately serve as a deterrent.
People aren't going to want a criminal conviction on their record. Most of the people that are coming here illegally ultimately hope to gain citizenship or at least a legal status. When you have a criminal record, it makes it a whole lot more difficult to do that.
Law enforcement agencies in North Texas have responded to the Supreme Court's order with a measured approach, highlighting the new law will mainly be a tool used along the border. Tarrant County Sheriff Bill Wayburn said, quote, "It is unlikely that law enforcement in North Texas will have knowledge of an individual's illegal entry status to enforce SB 4, due to this being primarily an on-view offense." And Dallas Police Chief Eddie Garcia indicated he does not want undocumented people in the city to fear police, adding in a statement, the department cannot prohibit or limit the enforcement of immigration laws. However, residents of Dallas, victims, and witnesses should feel confident in working with the Dallas Police Department. The Mexican government quickly condemned the ruling and the new state law, saying the country will not accept repatriations from the state of Texas.
Can Mexico say we don't want to take anyone from Texas?
They absolutely can. Look at Title 42, look at Remain in Mexico. All of those programs were dependent upon Mexico agreeing to what we were trying to do. So yes, Mexico can say we're not going to take these individuals back. But if they do that, then these people are going to be handed over to the Border Patrol or ICE for processing for deportation under that.
So while many Republicans are celebrating this and calling this a big win, this is not the ball game for SB 4. The merits of the case will still have to be debated in oral arguments before the right-leaning Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals.
All right, Stephen, this thing is moving. I mean, it was scheduled to happen like in April, sometime next month, and then the Supreme Court weighs in, and bang, now it's speeding along. What's the timetable now?
Yeah, so this thing has been fast-tracked, as you alluded to. Now oral arguments will be tomorrow morning at about 10 a.m. via Zoom. The oral arguments are supposed to be in April, about the April 3rd. Now, it's interesting, the panel is chosen at random. It includes the chief judge, who is a George W. Bush appointee. The next two judges are Trump appointee and a Biden appointee.